Before I talk about the news today, I have to, a little on a personal note, I got a letter yesterday, and I've gotten letters like this before, but they haven't given me permission to read them on the air, and this one did. And I won't read the whole thing. I'll kind of edit it for space. But it's important because we did the mailbox yesterday, the mailbag yesterday, and answer your question. I always make these jokes about will change your life and all this stuff. But here's a guy who said when he started watching this podcast, it wasn't under good circumstances. He says, I was in an extremely dark period in my life. My longtime girlfriend at that time had cheated on me and wanted nothing more to do with me. I just graduated from high school and I didn't know what I wanted to do. I felt like I had no purpose and no future, and the black hole of sadness and heartbreak had sucked all the sunlight of happiness and joy from my soul. There was one instance where I tried to commit suicide, and he says it was only an act of God that saved his life, but he stumbled across this podcast. I stumbled across your podcast. I began to listen to what you were saying, and your message of optimism in the face of dark times helped lift my spirits out of the depths of despair. I began to seek counseling, and soon after I decided to go to college, where I met my current girlfriend of over a year. She has been the greatest blessing God gave to me, and I hope to marry her. You used the metaphor of conservatives being doctors, keeping freedom alive just a little longer. You, sir, kept me alive just a little longer until I could find true happiness again. Very moving to me, these letters. When I get them, I really appreciate people telling me these things, because I've been there, and I know what it's like, and I know that a chance word from somebody who is thinking in the right way can really help you and save you. And one of the, I swear, I've seen this, I've worked with a lot of suicidal people. I've worked on hotlines and things like that. And one of the tricks that I believe that our mutual enemy, that the force of evil likes to play on us, is likes to make us think that we are in the deepest pit of hell, when in fact we're 10 feet away from the end of the tunnel. And that's what happened to me. I mean, at the darkest day of my life, I thought I was in absolute oblivion of darkness, and in fact I was 15 feet away from the goal line. It was all going to be okay. And when I look back on that and think that I was actually thinking of ending my life, I just want to slap myself. I want to go back to that kid and just say, what are you doing, doof? And it really is true. And it's not just things going better. It's your attitude. It's the way so much of life is whether you picture yourself as a dumb animal in a cage being stabbed by vicissitudes, or you picture yourself as a knight fighting for your own life, a battler or a warrior fighting for your own life. And one of the things that really gets me about the left, there was the story yesterday, I guess it was, of this illegal immigrant who wanted to get an abortion, and the government was saying, no, we don't have to facilitate that. And the court said, yes, you have to get her an abortion. She wasn't asking for us to pay for it. She just wanted the abortion. And she was taken out, and she got the abortion, and there were people celebrating. Like, hooray, the baby is dead. And I thought, I know these aren't bad people. I know these aren't evil people, but your philosophy takes you somewhere. Your philosophy is like a road, and you get to the end of the road, and suddenly you find out, oh, I'm celebrating a baby being exterminated, And I would say the same thing, by the way. It's not quite as bad, but I say the same thing about people who rejoice when some evil guy is put to death, and they're out there saying old Sparky and cheering for that. You're either on the side of life or you're on the side of death. And I think that there is a philosophy, this leftist philosophy, and I'm glad we have Paul Kenger on coming on to talk about communism, because I do believe this leftist philosophy is a path that leads straight to the celebration of death and the elevation of death over life. Anyway, that letter really moved me. I'm really glad, and I'm really happy he let me know.